I also needed to factor in that there's effectively a restriction on this property. You can only live in it if you're aged over 55. Most mortgage lenders don't know about that anyway. So you've got this other kind of element. If you imagine that got all these mortgage lenders in the UK, you've got them all on a spreadsheet, there's hundreds of them, and then you've got all these filters at the top. And the first filter that I'm going to apply is I'm going to say, well, this is an age restricted property. And as soon as I put that filter on, that spreadsheet goes down to like 2 or 3 lenders immediately from all those that are out there. And then let's say that I've got another filter and I now want to say, well, I want to do a remortgage at open market value within 6 months without doing any work, and I apply that filter, and I might go down to 2 lenders or 3 lenders, and that's how it kind of works. So the one that I used ticked both of those boxes. If I didn't have the age restriction, I probably would use a different lender. And the question is, well, what's the difference between using this lender and that lender? It comes down to one thing: the cost. Yeah, because we know they will both do things, but what's the cost of that lender? What's the fees? What's the interest rate? What's the charges that they will apply? Which is the best solution for the task I have at hand.
Okay, and obviously people like me, most people out there, we wouldn't be able to do that on our own, would we? We might go shopping and try and approach different lenders or speak to a broker who maybe isn't the specialist.
Most of these lenders don't deal direct with the public anyway. Right, so you've got to really access a professional. It doesn't have to be us, but you need somebody like us who can help and guide you to the right solution first of all, because they have all these complex criteria, and lenders literally, they want to know everything about everything. They want to know what you had for dinner yesterday and what size shoe you are in order to validate this. There's so many granular elements of criteria that sit behind this, and you don't want to trip up after 3 or 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 2 months and find out, oh, actually, now we're not going to lend because we don't like this small detail in the background. It's outside of our policy. Hard no. You've wasted all that time. Will the deal fall through now because it's gone on so long and the seller is getting disgruntled with the lack of progress? You don't want that. It's best to find the right solution.
I guess even worse in this instance, you could have, had that been the case, you would have bought it for cash, and then the cash is locked up in the deal, and
yeah,
or maybe even worse than that, you pay the deposit to exchange on the virtual fall of the hammer, and then make the decision of actually, I'm not going to be able to refinance this thing, and then goodbye deposit because I'm not going to complete on it. So not being crystal clear on that exit strategy would be, it is an absolute downfall where we see property investors get it wrong.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Yeah. And obviously I'm pro advisor, pro mortgage broker, because that's always been my profession, for 25 years pretty much. And I really see the value in doing things that way. But there are a lot of risks and downfalls, and the more complex a strategy you get involved in, the more risks there potentially are. And the way to mitigate those risks is to have the right people on your team who can give you additional confidence and help guide you through that kind of that maze. So there's 2 factors really. Some lenders that operate in this specialist area won't accept direct applications anyway. They won't do that. And the second one is having that guidance and support and an enhanced level of confidence from working with somebody who that's their day job.
Transform your property results, one insight at a time, at ypn.plus.